Happening now, warnings, dangerous storms are moving across the southeast. A woman killed her neighbour charged, the dispute that turned deadly in Hamilton. Here comes the mud army. Hundreds of volunteers hit the streets of Cairns as the city cleans up from the floods. Homes lost in an unfolding bushfire emergency. Flu, COVID and pneumonia, a surge in summer sickness. A big bank's stunning interest rate call. And later, named and shamed, Australia's worst performing airline revealed.
Live from Brisbane, 7 News with Katrina Blowers.
Good evening. We begin with breaking news, and there are warnings of flash flooding tonight as dangerous thunderstorms lash the southeast. We'll cross to Rosanna Kingson, and Rosie, the storms are heading northeast.
Slowly towards the coast, Katrina. The Bureau of Meteorology says there could be flash flooding over the next few hours, which could be dangerous or even life-threatening. Storms began moving across the southeast this afternoon and are expected to reach Beenleigh by 6:30. 69 millimetres of rain was recorded in an hour this afternoon at Boona, 48 millimetres at Moggill. We're also hearing of delays at Brisbane Airport because of the weather. Near Moreton Island, a waterspout was seen this afternoon. A warning is in place for Brisbane, Moreton Bay, Logan, the Gold Coast and Redlands. Katrina, people are advised to stay inside until the storm has passed.
Good advice. Rosanna Kingson there. A woman has been charged over the stabbing death of her neighbour at a Hamilton unit block. Locals say the pair had been fighting for years before tensions boiled over.
A low-said Hamilton unit block where neighbours say tensions have been boiling for years. Now it's the scene of a deadly crime.
What I can say is that police have been there previously on a number of occasions. There have been some reports of some disturbances.
Detectives allege this is where a 55-year-old woman fatally stabbed her neighbour, a woman in her 40s, this morning. A public housing unit block, both women called home.
There's nothing to suggest at this point in time that I'm aware of that there was forced entry into the unit.
The victim, who locals say is a Samoan mum of two, was found alive but critically injured in a unit. She'd been stabbed in the chest and arms. She was rushed to the Royal Brisbane and Women's Hospital but died shortly after.
The Samoan lady tells her to calm down or just get out of her little courtyard because she'll climb up on the fence.
We've lived here for over 40 years and she's been there for 15, I'd say.
Throughout that time, neighbours say they rung police more times than they can count.
She needs proper help, yeah. But, you know, it's too late now. Yeah. Someone's lost their life.
A neighbourhood rocked and a family left mourning. Katrina, that 55-year-old woman has since been charged with 1 count of murder and 1 count of entering with intent. The pair's neighbours have visited the local police station to be questioned by officers so that they know what happened in the 43-year-old's final hours and can build a case against her alleged killer. The 55-year-old woman will face Brisbane Magistrates Court tomorrow.
Jordan Bissell at Hamilton. Hundreds of strangers have turned out to help Cairns clean up from the floods. Locals, visitors, all pitching in to help the city recover. But tonight there's a new flood threat, this time in the Cape.
Armed with brooms and mops, strangers of all ages are getting their hands dirty.
So literally it's just a community of people getting together to just try and help the people that are in need.
The Cairns Mud Army, now almost 200 strong.
It's heartbreaking when you see what they've gone through. Every little bit counts.
Ivanhoe's Rugby League club swapping footies for floodplains.
Bit of camp spirit, yeah. Get all the footy boys around here and, you know, we're more of a family club than what we are a footy club.
Those in town for their own holidays, sacrificing their time too.
Up from near Newcastle, yeah, visiting my daughter for Christmas. And I've seen it on the volunteer website to get a hand to come and do this after all the clean-up they need.
Along with an extra 200 emergency services reinforcements.
People in northern Queensland are in the streets helping each other, neighbours helping neighbours, and it's great to see.
The SES is able, Rural Fire is able to come through and do washouts. SES is coordinating that.
So far, 2,011 damage assessments have been completed. 4 homes are destroyed, 115 have severe damage, 389 moderate and 450 minor. Almost 3,000 insurance claims have already been made and 7,478 people have applied for the government's hardship payments.
As of 6 a.m. today, about 1,200 residents or businesses remain without power.
More than 200 people have now been evacuated from Wudjil. Another 60 today taken by chopper to the PCYC in Cooktown. Police on the ground surveyed the damage.
Unbelievable.
With no indication of when they'll be able to return home, neighbouring Kawanyama is preparing for a significant event.
We are expecting major flood levels at Kawanyama along the Magnificent Creek in the coming days.
Significant preparations being made in Kawanyama. Today, the Kawanyama Council did significant earthworks up there to protect the community.
Door knocking of residents has been undertaken by police.
Here in Machin's Beach, the impact of this disaster is obvious, but the rest of Australia is going to feel this too. The price of summer fruit and Christmas seafood is about to soar, the flooding creating significant shortages.
Farmers are incredibly innovative. They're doing all that they can to get their product to markets.
The Salvation Army in Cairns has already started spending $350,000 to get essentials for those who need them, sifting through boxes of donations too, making sure the most wonderful time of year doesn't lose its magic. And the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, is expected to land here in Cairns in the next couple of hours. Tomorrow he will hit the ground and meet with people from these flood-ravaged communities. The hope is that he will announce a fourth round of federal government funding to help them get back on their feet. And some other good news, emergency services have confirmed they have now gained access to those 35 isolated communities in the far north, and there are no further reports of missing persons. Police do, though, still hold grave concerns for an 85-year-old man from Dejara who has been missing for several days. Katrina.
Thanks, Rachel. The verdict in a retrial of two teenage boys accused of murdering Redcliffe teen Angus Beaumont has been described by his family as the best of the worst set of outcomes. A judge finding one of the boys guilty of manslaughter.
They couldn't bear to sit through the retrial, but today Angus Beaumont's parents returned to court to hear a judge find two teens guilty of killing their son. Angus was stabbed in the heart during a 2-on-1 attack in Redcliffe in March 2020. The pair, then 14, instigated the fight. Angus had been trying to defend his friend who had sold the boys cannabis. Both teens were convicted of murder by a jury in June last year and were sentenced to 9 years and 7 years jail respectively. In May, they appealed and won and faced a retrial earlier this month. The younger boy who inflicted the fatal wound was again found guilty of murder, the other guilty of manslaughter. Angus's parents leaving court early after hearing the verdicts, describing it as the best of the worst outcomes.
Nobody should go through what the Beaumonts have gone through, and it's just heartbreaking.
Both boys won't be sentenced until next year because Youth Justice needs more time to prepare a psychiatric report for the teen convicted of manslaughter. The court hearing, he must be interviewed at least 3 times.
A sentence is expected late February. Rosanna Kingson, 7 News.
A teenage boy has died while swimming with friends at a popular waterhole west of Brisbane this morning. Emergency services were called to Colo Creek after the boy failed to resurface. Swift water rescue and police divers scoured the creek, finding the boy's body early this afternoon. Properties have been destroyed and entire streets evacuated by a ferocious bushfire in Perth. It sprang up just before lunch and homes were gone within minutes.
Residents barely had time to run. This fire appeared from nowhere this morning and moved so quickly everyone was caught off guard. Nothing in its way stood a chance, including homes, sheds and cars.
It sounds like a war zone. That many choppers around, it's unbelievable. They're very close, actually.
This lush bushland on Perth's outskirts had been blown dry by weeks of scorching temperatures.
We're trying to hose down as well. I had a tree fall on my roof this morning.
It was never going to take much for things to explode.
Firefighters are throwing everything at this. Helicopters are coming through every 30 seconds. There are 10 aircraft in the air and 40 crews on the ground, but still there has been damage to homes here.
It took hours, but eventually the fire was under control. But everyone here is braced for more.
We are expecting difficult fire weather conditions to continue into early next week.
Firefighters here have also struck an unexpected danger in the west. Drones flown over fires for fun, but are so dangerous water-bombing aircraft have to stay away.
That drone operator not only put property at risk, that drone operator put lives at risk. It's a bloody idiotic thing to do.
In Perth, Lucy Murray, 7 News.
A sudden and significant surge in COVID, flu and pneumonia cases is sweeping the state. It's prompted a warning from the Chief Health Officer as hospitalisations rise.
It's the gift no one wants for Christmas. Respiratory illnesses, not festive cheer, being spread around this year.
There's definitely been an increase recently, I've seen. We've also had it a couple of times.
The unusual summer surge seeing COVID hospitalisations quadruple since October and influenza case numbers spike.
There has been a significant rise in the last few weeks and this was somewhat unexpected.
Also making the rounds in the community is mycoplasma infection, a contagious form of pneumonia that affects all age groups.
They have trebled since the end of November.
It's the same infection behind a mysterious wave of childhood pneumonia cases in China in recent weeks.
We have not really seen much mycoplasma in Australia since before the pandemic, so since before 2020. So this is a significant rise.
While treatable and rarely fatal, Queensland doctors have noted a significant number of children who have developed rare complications from the infection, including encephalitis and mucositis.
The unseasonal spread of infection is being put down to seasonal festivities, including Christmas gatherings and interstate and overseas travel.
The strange surge also attributed to COVID lockdowns, disrupting normal infection patterns. The plea for Queenslanders under the weather this Christmas is stay away from elderly and vulnerable loved ones.
And Sally Guy joins me in studio. Sally, some staggering new figures show the state of our ramping crisis.
Yeah, Katrina, paramedics have spent 125,000 hours waiting, ramped at hospitals so far this year. The figures revealed in a question on notice by the opposition shows from January to September, Metro South Hospital and Health Service was the worst for patients left on stretchers. More than 42,000 hours this year, almost double the next worst region, Metro North. Last month, the Health Minister announced a 5-point plan to tackle the issue, which included hiring more staff and creating new ED roles. I'm told work is underway on some of those initiatives.
All right, thank you, Sally. A coroner has found Gold Coast mother Tina Greer likely suffered a violent death at the hands of her bikie ex-partner Les Sharma. The findings were handed down today after Tina's daughter fought for an inquest into her mother's 2012 disappearance.
We got the majority of our recommendations through, which is really important for future victims of domestic violence, family members of missing people, people accessing rehab services.
The coroner was unable to say how Tina died, and a $250,000 reward for information remains on offer. The judge in the Bruce Lehrmann defamation trial has cast doubt over some of his and Brittany Higgins' evidence, saying it's simply too hard to accept. Channel 10's lawyers went much further, calling Mr Lehrmann a liar in their explosive closing remarks.
When Channel 10's Lisa Wilkinson conducted her explosive interview with Brittany Higgins, it had close to 1 million viewers. A defamation trial told today the overwhelming majority had no idea her unnamed alleged rapist was Bruce Lehrmann. No evidence was adduced of a single person who reasonably identified Mr Lehrmann. Bruce Lehrmann has consistently denied that after a night of drinking he sexually assaulted or had sexual contact with Brittany Higgins in their minister's Parliament House office. They weren't there to play Scrabble. There's a limited universe of things that plausibly happened. Your Honour ought to feel an active persuasion that sexual intercourse took place. 10's barrister Matt Collins, using a series of slides outlining what he said are the facts in the case, namely that Lehrmann was attracted to Higgins, plied her with drinks and passionately kissed her. Dr Collins arguing Mr Lehrmann's evidence should be treated with extreme suspicion. We submit that Mr Lehrman was revealed as a fundamentally dishonest man. Justice Michael Lee told the court he understood the case being made is that both principal witnesses in this matter had real credit issues. Various parts of each witness's evidence simply can't be accepted, it seems to me. We agree. Tomorrow, Bruce Lehrman's legal team will make its final submissions. Chris Meyer, 7 News.
There is hope tonight. A new deal to free Israeli hostages is close, with the leader of Hamas in talks in Cairo. Pressure is mounting on Israel to rein in its attacks after a live broadcast recorded a missile strike targeting a hospital complex in Gaza.
A blast rips through Rafah in southern Gaza. This barrage of airstrikes captured live on air.
Oh my God, did you hear that? Yes, we did. Oh my God.
The journalist survives, but it's clear from the blast there'll be bloodshed.
That's the hospital, that's the hospital. This is exactly what we've been talking about. There is no safe place in Gaza.
War now stretches across this entire strip of troubled land from the north to the south. Children here have only ever known Hamas rule and Israel's vowing all Hamas terrorists, from the first to the last, are dead men walking. They have only two possibilities: surrender or die. While Western allies push for a ceasefire, a formal vote at the UN was once again delayed. The US wants Israel to conduct more surgical military operations but won't support a permanent ceasefire.
I hear virtually no one demanding of Hamas that it stop hiding behind civilians, that it lay down its arms, that it surrender. This is over tomorrow if Hamas does that.
That looks unlikely, but with the terror group's leader holding talks in Cairo, there's fresh hope tonight of another deal to free hostages. In London, Ashley Mullaney, 7 News.
And Australia has officially refused a request by America to send a Navy ship to patrol the Red Sea. The US asked for support after Houthi rebels stormed a number of ships in the important shipping channel.
We need to be really clear around our strategic focus, and our strategic focus is our region.
I think it's an inexplicable decision. I mean, this is our closest security partner asking us to make a contribution to a maritime security operation.
Australia will instead send a small number of defence personnel. Federal politicians have racked up a $31 million bill on travel and office expenses in just 3 months. The eye-watering figure angering some voters as they deal with inflation and interest rate hikes.
Crisscrossing the world and Australia, Anthony Albanese has spent a lot of time in the air and a lot of taxpayers' money to be there. Almost $4 million on VIP jets in his first year in office.
Shocking.
And that doesn't include recent trips to China, the US and India.
I don't think his travel overseas has been excessive.
The Prime Minister is required to travel by Air Force as a matter of security.
Deputy PM Richard Marles racked up close to $2.5 million in private flights.
Politicians should always be careful of taxpayer money and public money, and especially when regular Australians are hurting.
Also released new federal expenses showing MPs spent $31 million between July and September last year, claiming for everything from car trips to office flags.
It's disgusting. Politicians have got to do a job.
Mr Albanese topped the list, spending almost $700,000, most of that jetting his staff around the world. Employment Minister Tony Burke nearly $400,000, $88,000 on printing alone. Opposition leader Peter Dutton claimed $363,000, $7,000 for flags. And Environment Minister Tanya Plibersek $326,000, $13,000 in car costs.
I think about every dollar of taxpayers' money that I spend.
We are required to get around the country. We're required to run our elected offices.
The expenses are within the rules, but have gone unscrutinised until now due to technical issues with the reporting system, leading to claims of a lack of transparency.
We finally see it, and no surprise, we see it literally days before Christmas when they hope no one's watching.
Rob Scott, 7 News.
A desperate attempt to dodge police on his tail. Coming up, the dramatic moment a teen car thief jumps from a moving vehicle. Why mortgage holders could be in for a very happy 2024. What sparked this road rage attack on a busy street? And the major airline named and shamed as Australia's worst.
Home and Away is back early, Monday, Jan 8.
Airguard has protected Aussies from insects for over 60 years. In comes Airguard Home, protecting you from pests around the house with a targeted trigger spray and biokill technology. Airguard Home. Kill pests, protect the rest.
Community. It's a hard thing to define, and it's a very unique thing to build. But what does it really mean? There are those who think it means a helping hand. There are those who think it means a place to finally call your own. And those who think it means togetherness. I guess community means a lot of different things to different people. And that's the beauty of it. We all play our part in shaping it. So whatever community means to you, you'll find it at Ausbuild.
A bird in a bird in a bird.
That's quite a lot of bird.
Aldi's to duck and roast with Prosecco flavoured sprinkle is $24.99 per kilo. Go big on the little things with Aldi. Good, different.
This summer at Macca's, value means more than ever. Like our loose change menu, which now comes with a lot more sharing. There's also more family time, thanks to the Macca's bundle range. And rewards and deals every week on the My Macca's app mean more reasons to treat yourself. Whatever it means to you, value means more at Macca's.
Bang, bang on my drum, my tribe's everywhere. Call us what you want, we don't care. Living my best life, living my best life. Do what I feel like, living my best life.
Vanish Gold Multi-Power works in cold and short cycles. With amazing stain removal power that's more effective than detergent alone. Love your clothes for longer with Vanish.
Welcome back. A man has been re-arrested in Queensland over the theft of a blind dog from the Gold Coast. Bowie was taken from his Southport home in July and later found in New South Wales, allegedly with a 48-year-old man. With his interstate court matters now finalised, the man was arrested again and charged by Queensland Police. He'll face court in the new year. Now to some video of a shocking road rage attack where you can see a man throwing several punches through the window of a white sedan. Another man steps in to de-escalate the attack. The incident happened yesterday afternoon in Perth and has been reported to police. It's a happy new year from Australia's biggest bank as the Commonwealth tips better times ahead in 2024 with welcome relief on interest rates. CommBank says tax cuts, pay rises and a return to normal inflation will all mark a turnaround in household fortunes.
There's much less to spend on Christmas trimmings this year.
People are still celebrating Christmas. I want to get into the festive season. However, they're just watching every dollar.
Even those decking out their homes looking to add sparkle without the overspend of Christmases past.
Yeah, it is getting tougher and tougher. It's getting more expensive. With less money, it's hard.
According to economists, things are looking up. Inflation is falling sharply. CommBank predicts it'll be back to normal, below 3% by this time next year.
So the first half of 2024 is likely to remain fairly tough for some households.
Then it gets better. Stage 3 tax cuts are due in July. There'll be wages growth too, but best of all, interest rate cuts. CommBank tips the first in September and 2 more by Christmas.
And that horrible period we've been through of very high inflation and rapidly rising interest rates will have receded, hopefully, into the rearview mirror.
And our share market is excited, now within a whisker of an all-time high on broad expectations of a happy new year.
But easing conditions will come at a not-so-merry cost to jobs, with rising unemployment forecast next year.
We'll probably see somewhat higher unemployment, but it's still going to be relatively low.
Serena Andaloro, 7 News.
Police are ramping up a major road safety operation for Christmas and New Year's. Since it began 3 weeks ago, they've handed out nearly 7,500 tickets, almost half for speeding. Of concern, the number of drink drivers.
So far in phase 3, we've conducted more than 10,000 random breath tests and unfortunately charged 162 idiots.
271 people have been killed on the state's roads so far this year, 14 fewer than for the same period last year. Queensland's childcare overhaul next calls for a phone ban, the key steps needed to keep kids safe. A teen car thief's frenzied escape from the law. Why Donald Trump's ballot ban could actually help his election chances. And a special Christmas delivery for fire-ravaged Tara.
Get ready for a feeling you can't quite describe. The T-Rock R, in stock now.
3, 2, 1, here we go! Live a life full of flavor, let your life take shape. Flavor just for me. Hey!
On its shapes, flavour you can see.
Morning, Carmen. Carmen, how's our gorgeous granola coming along?
Carmen here added extra joy.
I love it so much.
Maybe dial it back a little. There's care, and then there's the Carmen's kind of care.
Come on, Joe. You've never made a side like this before.
Aldi's sweet, juicy Aussie honey gold mangoes are now on sale. Go big on the little things with Aldi. Good, different.
The resources industry is Queensland's nest egg, contributing billions to roads, police, hospitals and schools. But for short-term gain, the government introduced the world's highest coal royalty tax, putting Queensland's nest egg under pressure. Already billions of dollars in mining investment has been cancelled or frozen. The government must reconsider and work with the industry to protect our state's nest egg. Hurt Queensland resources and you hurt Queensland's future. Keep Queensland competitive.
Authorised by Ian McFarlane, Queensland Resources Council Limited, Brisbane.
On now, Harvey Norman's Super Deals. Save over $700 on this king-size 75-inch LG Smart TV. Now just $17.34. Save $200 on this powerful LG 3.1.2 channel soundbar. Now $595. Save $150 on the Dyson Supersonic hairdryer. Now $494. Great price on the Aussie-built Westinghouse 5-function oven. Only $649. Save $200 on this higher 10 kg front loader. Just $788. Limited time only. Harvey Norman's Super Deals. Don't miss out.
Go! Get your camera ready this Christmas.
I just want to come here and say Merry Christmas.
Because this could be it.
Oh my God.
The day it all started. Your gift could start something big.
Please find Gary.
Gary.
When you need to move fast,
We must find Gary.
do it with Vodafone's best ever network.
Gary. Gary?
I'm worried that he might be lost forever.
Now with triple the 5G coverage, giving you a faster and more reliable experience than ever before. You'll love our network or get your money back. Make your move to Vodafone. We have video tonight of a teenager's wild chase in a stolen car. The blue Hyundai was tracked by a police helicopter as it raced along roads in Perth. It crossed onto the wrong side of the road several times, the chase coming to an end when the 18-year-old jumped from the moving car. The vehicle was sent crashing into the bedroom wall of a nearby home. The teen has since been charged. Queensland childcare staff could soon be banned from using their own phones at work after a nationwide child safety review. More than a dozen recommendations have been made to better protect children.
The daily routine at Little Scribblers Early Learning Centre.
Good morning, Therese.
Staff sign in, then hand over their phones. Only allowed to use safe and approved devices when working with children.
They're really happy that they're in an environment that puts child safety at the forefront.
It's an idea all facilities could soon be forced to adopt, one of 16 recommendations of a child safety report, which also includes mandatory child safety training, tightening supervision requirements, reducing the time frame for reporting child abuse from 7 days to 24 hours, and strengthening the recruitment vetting process.
What we have to do is everything possible to ensure that children are safe.
The investigation was launched after Ashley Paul Griffith was charged with more than 1,600 child abuse offences against 91 girls. His alleged crimes going undetected at centres in Brisbane, Sydney and overseas for 15 years.
This is one of the most horrific child abuse cases that I've seen.
Education ministers will meet early in the new year to consider implementing the recommendations at childcare centres across the country.
Anything we need to do to keep our kids safe is something that education ministers will take very seriously.
Helping centres keep kids safe. Georgia Holland, 7 News.
The mother of NRL star Payne Haas will spend Christmas behind bars after her court case was delayed for a medical report. Joan Tafua is charged with manslaughter over a horror crash that killed 3 people on the Gold Coast last year. A family member of the victims was in court today and thanked the community for its support.
Thank you for the support of everyone. I appreciate it.
The case will return to court in March. 2 people have been rescued after their small plane came down on a frozen lake in Minnesota and crashed through the ice. They were planning a day of ice fishing when the pilot tried to land on the thin surface. The nose of the plane went into the water, leaving the pair cold and wet, but otherwise okay. Now rescuers are trying to work out how to get the plane out of the ice. Engineers are working to divert the flow of lava from Iceland's erupting volcano away from a power plant. The vital infrastructure supplies hot water to the region. The lava flow is slowing down, but experts fear another eruption could open up more fissures. Tourists are being warned to stay away after a hiker became lost and had to be rescued. US President Joe Biden says it's self-evident that Donald Trump is an insurrectionist following the historic ruling in Colorado that wipes his rival from the state ballot. The decision could have a significant impact on the 2024 election.
The day after his #1 political rival was scratched from the race in one US state, Joe Biden wouldn't weigh in on the ruling.
Let the court make that decision.
But did take a firm stance on Donald Trump's actions the day of the January 6 riots that led to the historic decision.
Well, he certainly supported an insurrection. No question about it. None. Zero.
The Colorado Supreme Court agrees, and for the first time in history, a law created after the Civil War was used to disqualify a presidential candidate. A sad day in America from the Republican frontrunner. What a shame for our country. Every major Republican candidate campaigning to beat him was today defending him.
They basically just said, what, you can't be on the ballot? I mean, how does that work?
We don't need to have judges making these decisions. We need voters to make these decisions.
The Colorado ruling is now on hold until January, pending appeals.
As of January 5th, if the U.S. Supreme Court does not take the case or intervene, then Donald Trump will not be on the presidential primary ballot.
A dozen other states have similar cases pending. It'll now likely be the US Supreme Court that has the final say on all of them. In the United States, Miley Hogan, 7 News.
We're being warned about a hidden danger in barbecues. Next, the simple way to avoid a dining disaster. An out-of-control car sparks car park chaos. Australia's worst performing airline named and shamed. And Meghan Markle's low-key return to acting.
The most we've ever had playing the 1% question.
Will they find $100 grand in their stocking?
What would you do with the money?
Probably go out fishing with the boys.
You know you can do more.
2 fishing trips with the boys.
Oh!
You'll need to think a little backwards to win.
How quickly can you do the alphabet backwards?
Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, J, I, H, G, F, E, D, C, B, A.
I have no way of knowing if that was correct.
A very special 1% Club. Christmas Eve at 7.
Shut up and take my money.
Now I've had the sights of my life.
You've never made a sign like this before.
You're the one thing
I can't get enough of. So I bought you something.
This could be love.
Go big on the little things with Aldi. Good, different.
Hey, Dad. What's the ocean like?
You were made to remember some days forever. We were made to help you find the best way there.
Don't let hay fever allergies hold you back. Nothing beats Telfast for fast, non-drowsy, 24-hour action. Telfast, we know hay fever allergies.
You're the one thing I can't get enough of.
Aldi's fresh-cooked Aussie Black Tiger prawns are $29.99 per 1 kilo pack. Go big on the little things with Aldi. Good, different.
Clark Rubber has everything for summer fun this Christmas with Australia's largest range of portable pools, pool toys and inflatables, equipment, cleaners and accessories. We have everything you need for fun with family and friends this summer. Catalogue out now. Clark Rubber, everything pools, foam and rubber.
Ford dealers have backed sport in communities for nearly 100 years. And now, from the Boomers and Opals to Aussie Hoops, your local Ford dealer is proud to support basketball. Because all dreams start somewhere.
What happens to all the grease and grime on your dishes? It can build up inside your dishwasher. Add Finish In-Wash Dishwasher Cleaner to your wash to clean your dishwasher while your machine cleans your dishes. Try Finish today.
An out-of-control car has hit 2 pedestrians and left a trail of destruction in a car park in Sydney. A 78-year-old man was behind the wheel of a Hyundai SUV, which crashed into 4 other vehicles at a Coles supermarket. 1 pedestrian was taken to hospital in a stable condition. Border Force is beefing up efforts to prevent animal trafficking, which is putting Australian wildlife at risk. 3D X-ray technology is being deployed to find animals before they're smuggled out of the country in what is a $20 billion global black market.
There are 7 matters currently before the courts, and we've seen 2 people jailed since May. And as far as I'm concerned, we should throw the book at them.
Wildlife picked up by the technology are taken to Taronga Zoo for rehabilitation. There's a warning tonight about exploding backyard barbecues. It comes after a Sunshine Coast man narrowly escaped injury following a fiery close call.
A backyard barbie blazing.
I heard it all right. I don't know what it was.
Brian White was switching out an empty gas bottle when the new one exploded.
As I opened up the doors, I got a large burst of flame, explosion coming out, about 3 metres out from the bottle, knocked me backwards.
The narrow escape.
I ended up with superficial burns on my face and hand, and I had a heavier jumper on and it singed that right through.
As more families light up the barbecue these Christmas holidays, we're being warned about a hidden danger.
Just make sure that you thoroughly check your barbecue and the gas connections to make sure there's no leaks and everybody has a good time.
There's a simple way to find out if your barbecue is safe. All it takes is a common kitchen product.
If you mix a small amount of the washing up liquid with some water in one of those bottles and just spray the joints, if you can see the bubbles coming out, you know you've got a gas leak.
Also check your gas bottle is in good condition and the hoses haven't frayed.
Check your connections.
To prevent a fiery end to a summer feast. Alexandra Cullen, 7 News.
London's streets have been lit up in spectacular Christmas fashion, with decorations adorned at iconic locations and carolers performing in Trafalgar Square. Tourists and locals have been spilling through the streets each night, hoping to do some last-minute holiday shopping or take a snap of one of London's famous landmarks. Named and shamed. Coming up, Australia's worst performing airline revealed, from flight delays to cancellations, the frustrations hampering holiday flights. That story is just ahead on 7 News. Time now for sport, and look who's back again.
Another part of that Christmas cameo, Katrina. Hello, everyone. Ahead, why it's finals or bust for the Dolphins of Bromwich brothers. Plus, the Aussie women on a rescue mission after a shocking start in India.
What happens to all the grease and grime on your dishes? It can build up inside your dishwasher. Add Finish in-wash dishwasher cleaner to your wash to clean your dishwasher while your machine cleans your dishes. Try Finish today.
Ooh, the fancy biscuits. Did we win Gold Lotto or something?
You too could win a share in Gold Lotto's $30 million mega draw. Get your ticket Saturday, December 30. Wouldn't it be nice?
If your home could talk, would it ask for great value contents cover? Protect what you love with Suncorp Home Contents Insurance. Winner of CanStar's Outstanding Value Award 3 years running. Search Suncorp Home Insurance today.
There's a safety recall on solar system batteries branded LG, LG Chem and some Solax products. Affected batteries may overheat and catch fire. Even if you have checked before, please check again.
Holiday in every way with Royal Caribbean.
June four-wheel drive portable fridge freezers are built tough for Australia. Available in a 45-litre single zone for $599, 75-litre dual zone for $799 and a 95-litre dual zone for $999. Available exclusively at Anaconda.
We've got your last-minute essentials at the lowest prices.
Marquee trestle table, only $67. Barbecue trays, just $12.98.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stock item, we'll beat it by 10%. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
You'll get everything you need at your local IGA this Christmas.
Like Australian medium-cooked tiger prawns, $24 per kilo. And delicious Australian cherries, $14.90 per kilo. Now at IGA.
Grab your last-minute Christmas gifts at Autobarn, like these comfy sheepskin seat covers, 2 for $79. And protect their engine with this Castrol Magnatec stop-start engine oil, save $25. Autobarn.
Top gear, low prices.
Please find Gary.
When you need to move fast,
we must find Gary.
Do it with Vodafone's best ever network.
Gary.
Gary? I'm worried that he might be lost forever.
Now with triple the 5G coverage, giving you a faster and more reliable experience than ever before. You'll love our network or get your money back. Make your move to Vodafone.
Get ready for a feeling you can't quite describe. The T-Rock R, in stock now.
Hey, Uz. Did someone say KFC?
I don't care. I love it.
This Sport Report delivered to you by KFC.
The Heat are back in action tonight, out to cement their place on top of the BBL ladder with a win over the Renegades in Melbourne. Brisbane elected to bowl after winning the toss. Spencer Johnson living up to his $1.78 million IPL pay packet.
Nicked, gone. Brilliant start for Johnson and the Heat.
But the outstanding Jake Fraser-McGurk quickly put the statisticians into a lather, smashing 22 from his first 6 balls. Seven's coverage starts straight after the news. English import Tom Curran's copped a 4-match ban, charged with attempted intimidation of an umpire before a match in Launceston on December 11. The Sydney Sixers have said they will appeal against their ban. Overnight, the Scorchers confirmed they're again the team to beat. They hammered Hobart.
The Scorchers have been the BBL benchmark since day one. At home, almost unbeatable.
Oh, trouble here. David's in big trouble.
So too Tassie Berendorf with 3. Enter the Wild Thing.
And gets a wicket with the first ball.
At 5 for 47, the Canes look cooked before Chris Jordan's charge.
What a way to bring up 50.
the fourth fastest 50 in BBL history, putting the Canes back in the contest, it seemed. England opener Zach Crawley in his first Scorchers outing, and Aaron Hardy plundered the hapless Hobart attack.
And rewarded with 6.
Yeah, well, he's done all right for the king of baseball. He smacked it around to start with, so it's tough for an international player to come generally with the pace and the bounce of our wicket here.
The pair belting 157, Hardy taking 26 off a dually over.
Now down the ground, 6 more, 4th for the over.
And it was all over in the 16th. Sean Lawson, 7 News.
Like the men, Australia's women are discovering Test cricket's a vastly different game in India. Batting in their first Test there since 1984, Phoebe Litchfield was run out without facing a ball.
A confusion between the two batters and the running between the wickets at the very first over.
It's the first diamond duck in women's Test cricket. 4 balls later, Elise Perry was skittled for 4. Talia McGrath and Beth Mooney counter-attacked with an 80-run stand before falling in quick succession. Mooney, the ball before lunch. Skipper Elisa Healy joined a host of Aussie victims in the second session. At tea, Australia is 8 for 180. The Australian men don't gather at the MCG till Saturday, but Pakistan are back to work and have plenty of support ahead of the Boxing Day Test. They'll play an impromptu practice match against Victoria tomorrow. Khurram Shahzad, though, who took 5 wickets on debut in Perth, is out injured. The MCG curator is promising a wicket with pace and bounce. After a decade together in the front line, Dolphins forward Kenny Bromwich is bracing for football life without brother Jesse. There's speculation that next season could be the skipper's last, further motivating hopes of a maiden finals appearance.
As inaugural captain, Jesse became a 300 gamer, but after 13 years in the middle, Supercoach Wayne Bennett's tipping season 14 to be Bromwich's last.
Yeah, he's getting on now and he's still running around pretty good and training well, so we'll see what happens. It might be there.
For Kenny, it's a tough thought to consider. He followed Jesse from Auckland to Melbourne and now Redcliffe. Next year will be their 11th together in first grade.
Probably, I guess I have sort of thought about it more recently. I don't really like to think about it, to be fair.
But if 2024 is to be Jesse's last hurrah, finals in the fledgling club's second season would be a fitting farewell.
He'll be doing everything within his power to try and make that happen, and yeah, I'll be right here with him trying to do the best we can as well.
The competition's best players revealed the cost of conjuring one of the great comebacks. Nathan Cleary will play the remainder of his career without a posterior cruciate ligament in his left knee, having torn it early in that grand final win.
Sort of live without it now. So it's probably a bit more reliance on hammy, having strong hammies. So doing a lot of that now with physios.
Mitch Crone, 7 News.
Gold Coast-based boxer Jai Opataya gave up his IBF Cruiserweight World title to fight for a career-high payday on one of the biggest cards in boxing history this weekend. Heavyweight megastars Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder headlined the Day of Reckoning in Saudi Arabia. Joshua takes on Swede Otto Wallin.
But in terms of like how the fight will go, yeah, I think blood, bruising.
Wilder takes on Kiwi Joseph Parker. Opataya will earn almost $800,000 for his first fight against another unbeaten cruiserweight, Alice Zorro. She delivered when it counted most for the Matildas at the World Cup, and goalkeeper Mackenzie Arnold has now done the same as an Amazon delivery driver.
Hello. Did you order something?
Seeing their faces, I think the people out in the street heard their screams, which was unreal, and it was really special to me. It's first delivery as well.
Selfies are just part of the service. Arnold will be back on the job for the Matildas Olympic qualifier against Uzbekistan in February. That took less than 24 hours for all 50,000 plus tickets to be sold. It's their 12th straight sellout. Cricket straight after the news.
Oh, good stuff. What a night. Having you back as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Checking finance in the Australian share market had a steep fall mid-morning before finishing lower than yesterday. The ASX dropping 34 points. Industrial stocks made up for the loss, the AGJ Lucas Group jumping 30%. Real estate stocks didn't have the same luck, Stockland falling by more than 1%. And the Aussie dollar is buying 67 US cents and $1.08 New Zealand. The Duchess of Sussex has made a return to the small screen, appearing as a background extra in an ad for a coffee company. Meghan is seen as an intern in the video on social media for the latte startup Clever.
Finally, the glue that literally holds us all together. Our incredible, resilient fulfillment team that have helped make 2023 such a big success.
The Duchess of Sussex is an investor in the company. Residents in Tara are facing their first Christmas since bushfires tore through their community 2 months ago. But now there's one less thing for them to worry about, with a plane load of presents on the way. There were even some special requests from Tara's youngest residents.
Dollhouse and the hairdresser seat and Dr. Guy. That's what I always want. A hula hoop so I can wiggle.
Oh, how cute. Qantas and the Red Cross commissioned the special flight to make sure everyone gets a gift this Christmas. Cancelling flights, leaving passengers waiting. Next, Australia's worst performing airline revealed.
And storm warnings across the southeast. All the details and more coming up after the break, everybody.
When it happens,
when it matters,
you will know.
Residents are returning to a mammoth clean-up, and it is all hands on deck.
The mud army is in full force.
At 6 p.m. every night,
we're right here to make sense of it all.
Officers discovered a tragedy.
You'll always know the news with 7 News.
Weather Shield. Worth doing, worth Dulux.
Why wait? Amart's Boxing Day sale is on now. Save big with up to 60% off a huge range of furniture, including lounges, living, dining and more. Stores are open late this week, so hurry into Amart.
40th birthday. Excellent choice. This guy. Last Father's Day, major treehouse. And here, bang, bang, bang. Best Christmas ever. Now, let's talk this Christmas.
How do you spell reciprocating, sir?
Christmas, made by 1+U. Ryobi Hammer Drill Kit $149, available at Bunnings Warehouse.
Ryobi.
Get great value Christmas dishes for every budget at Coles. Like Coles RSPCA approved whole chicken, new to Down, just $4.50 a kilo. That's great value, hands down, at Coles.
Sport is a gift, with hundreds of member offers on now at Rebel, like this Spalding 48-inch 5-baller basketball hoop, now $3.99 and 20% off backyard games. Find the best deal with our price match guarantee. Rebel. Sport is calling.
Before solar rebates reduce, final opportunity to max out your Sunboost 6.6 kilowatt premium solar system with highest efficiency panels and max available rebate for a last chance 3691. Claim your maximum rebate by December 31.
Call 1300 Sunboost.
What's your pitch?
Forget the pitch. You've got an itch.
That itch could be dandruff. Silence it. Head & Shoulders removes up to 100% dandruff and itch. Head & Shoulders.
Get into Anaconda this Christmas and save on a huge range of camping gear. Igloo 49-litre icebox, only $69.99. Plus, save $130 on Spinifex standard 2 3x3 metre gazebo. Play more and pay less this Christmas with our 10% price beat guarantee.
Anaconda!
Do you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. It traps and removes waste from your gut and helps lower cholesterol. Join the Metamucil 2-week challenge now.
Come on, let's go. Hold on, mate. Come on, it's time to go!
Shut up and take my money.
It's time to buy.
It's a bird. It's a plane.
Nope, it's Jake Fraser McGurk.
That has gone an absolute mile.
The Melbourne superhero is about to fly, but will Brisbane be his kryptonite?
Bumps it high and long.
The Big Bash, live and free, next up on 7.
This weather report is brought to you by KFC.
Virgin Australia has been rated the nation's worst airline in a government review of flight delays and cancellations. Almost half its planes were late or simply unavailable in November. The Transport Minister saying it's no wonder travellers are fed up.
One cancelled Jetstar flight and the Steele family's journey just ballooned from a 3 to a 12-hour trip.
It's like worst case scenario, seeing family at home and 2 little kids in tow.
But last month it was Virgin that canned the most flights.
Is that the best we can hope for?
Steve Huey is one of the country's most frequent flyers.
Most of the time we have no idea what's going on. Should we wait? Should we rebook?
Across November, Jetstar recorded the highest number of flights leaving and landing on time, followed by Qantas. But Virgin won the wooden spoon. Only just over half of their flights left or arrived on schedule. The Federal Transport Minister says she's disappointed. It is no wonder that so many Australians remain fed up with our major airlines. Virgin apologised to customers, blaming aircraft maintenance, crew resourcing and air traffic controller shortages. Qantas also admitted its performance was below target levels.
There are a whole lot of things that airlines obviously can't control, things like the weather.
So which flight path are you most likely to find trouble on? Well, it also happens to be one of the world's busiest. Cancellations were highest between Melbourne and Sydney at around 9% both ways. The ACCC says it's watching closely and is pushing for more competition.
Where we see additional competitive pressure, we see better performance by the airlines and lower prices.
As millions prepare to take off for Christmas. Amy Clements, 7 News.
Time for the weather now. Here's Bertie.
Thanks for that, Katrina. Hello, everybody. Well, we certainly have had some stormy afternoons across the southeast. Still current warnings pushing through more north of the city up towards Wide Bay, Burnett region at this point in time. 60 to 100 millimetres falling in some of those regions, all the way from Boonah up towards Toowoomba and closer to the city as well, around 20 to 30 millimetres. Let's take a look at today's temperatures, and you'll see on the radar as it comes through as well that storm cell brewing throughout the day. Temperature-wise, it hit around 26 to 27 degrees coastal region, 28 degrees in the city, 29 for Ipswich and on the Sunshine Coast. We'll take a look at the charts now. You can see that trough system stretching all the way through down into Victoria, southern New South Wales. That'll clear the east coast as it moves offshore overnight. However, staying with us, a little bit of a low will just pop up south of the border later tomorrow, of course, with that bringing the showers on. And we'll see those showers continuing all the way through to at least Boxing Day. So a wet 5 days ahead of us at this stage. As we take a look around the nation now, partly cloudy for Sydney, Canberra and Melbourne. Highs at 24 degrees, 25 for Canberra. Down to 8 overnight, so a bit of a cool snap coming through as well. And partly cloudy for those in Perth and also Adelaide, 27 to 32 the highs. Back to the tropics now, a few showers at Cairns and also for Townsville, heading down into Mackay. 32 to 33 degrees the average high, down to around 25 degrees overnight. 40 degrees in clear skies for those in Mount Isa. Further south now, we'll see some heavier showers with possible storm activity Rockhampton through to Yeppoon, Hervey Bay all the way down towards Gympie as well. Highs are around 26 to 27 degrees, a little bit warmer up there at Rocky. Overnight temps around 21 to 22. Storms also forecast for Roma, 19 to 29 degrees, much cooler on the west there, although it will be sunny and fine up there at Longreach, a warm 37. Back home now, we'll see some showers. We'll wake up to those in the morning coming through. Temperatures dropping down, 23 degrees the average on the Gold Coast, 25 for Redcliffe, down to 21 overnight, 19 to 26 around Ipswich. On the water, variable winds, southerly change, 15 knots, seas a metre in the city, 21, 26, and showers throughout the day. Looking ahead, though, staying with the storms on Sunday. Monday for Christmas Day, 22 to 33. Ipswich, showers and storms for Saturday, Sunday, Christmas Day, 34. And the Gold and Sunshine Coast. Keep those rolly handy. Look like it could be seeing 40 millimetres there, Katrina, for the next 5 days. Wet head.
Oh dear, very soggy Santa. And that is all from us this Thursday. Thank you for your company. We will have updates throughout the evening. But for now, from all the team, have a great night.